Hello, everybody, and welcome to Ohio State Primetime Live call-in show here at Ohio State, the Voice of College Football. I am your host, as always, Garrison Gaddy. Please be sure to like, share, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Also, check out our website at www.vocfb.com. You can check out the schedule throughout the week and also the awesome writers that we have here at the network that keep you up to date with everything going on the college football landscape. Well, everybody, of course, this is 2 days after, of course, Ohio State takes a loss to the Miami Hurricanes. Of course, I put the call-in link inside the chat. If you would like to call in, give your take on what happened in the game. Maybe express some of your frustrations. Maybe talk about the portal. Talk about players leaving, players that could possibly be incoming. Talk about yeah, man. I mean, everything that's been going on. I'll tell you what, and also if you would like to put your questions, put your comments in the chat. Also, I'll also bring those up and talk about that. But this is what I'll say just a few days after the losses, man. The loss to Miami. I actually called into the Category 6 show. It's a Miami show about 30 minutes ago. Talked to those guys for a little bit. Had to hold up my end in the bargain, man. It comes with the territory. You talk for your team, you lose those games. You can't hide. You gotta show up still and take those L's, man. And I also want to say this in terms of just the lunatic French, because this is something that I honestly want to talk about, and it does frustrate me to no end. What people need to understand is that you are an Ohio State football fan. You are an Ohio State Buckeye fan. And thanks, Jam. I saw your comment that has for tonight. But this is what people need to understand. When you cheer for a team like Ohio State, when you cheer for a team like Alabama, when you team for the Georgias of the world, the Oregons right now of the world, teams like that, teams that play in high leverage football games, this comes with it. You got to take the wins with the losses. What you don't do, though, is bitch up. You buck up. Pun intended. What you don't do is then ask stupid questions like, should Ryan Day be fired? Going back to that, what you don't do is post stupid articles about whether Julian Sand is the quarterback of this team. I want everybody to know this. When you look in the record books, and first off, I'll say this: Julian's got not a long way to go, but he's got things to work on. He's got things to improve on. He's got to learn that you can't make second and 13, second and 19, second and 20. He's got to learn to look over the middle outside of when JJ is there and Carnell is there. He's got to learn to get rid of that ball, and even when he's rattled, you got to stay composed. He's got to learn that. But what you don't do is then post stupid ass articles or make stupid ass comments about whether he should be the quarterback next season. That's idiotic. That's dumb. How they say in England, that's daft. It's stupid. The guy had a good season. What you don't what you don't do is then you go and just say everything's not working out. Bro, listen, this is what happens at big time college football. This is what it is. Yeah, does it suck to lose to Miami? You're damn right it does. There's a lot, I don't want to lose to anybody, but that is the last program I want to lose to. And I'm sure you guys feel the same way. But they won that damn game. And it is what it is. You got to take the wins with the losses. Now, I also don't like sunshine pumpers. I think those people are terrible too, but they're not as terrible as a lunatic fringe. Why? Because they're bitchers. They cry. They whine. That's what they do. They don't know how to let their nuts hang. If you have any confidence in what your program is, bro, you shouldn't act that way. Grow up. Understand what you are. Because once you start acting like the lunatic fringe, that shows that you have no confidence. That shows that I'm not going to say that word, but that shows that you have no confidence. I have full confidence in this program. We just won a national championship. We just went 12-2. Yeah, we lost the Big Ten championship. And by the way, no, beating Michigan isn't. I don't think this season is a failure. But I don't think just because you beat Michigan, that is that's the bar. That is not the bar. I've said this. I'm always going to say this. I expect to beat them every year, every single year. Do I expect to always win the Big Ten championship? I mean, in today's landscape, it's hard. We have a lot of really good teams, a lot of really good programs. This ain't the big two and little 10 anymore. Do I expect to win the national championship every season? No, man, it's tough. Winning a national championship is tough. Everybody can't do it. They can't. Not every year. I expect to beat that team up north every single season. So if you're also one of these Ohio State, by the way, Mike and I talked about this. Shout out to you, Ohio State fans that kept on saying, "Oh yeah, I'd rather beat Michigan than win the national championship." You're idiots. You're wrong. You're wild. You're crazy. Because like Mike and I asked yesterday, how do you feel today? How do you feel today? You beat Michigan and now you're in Cancun. So yeah, if you guys want to keep sunshine pumping, do that, but you look weird. If you want to keep being the lunatic fringe, keep doing that, but you look weird. You got to be able to stay even kill. You got to be able to do that. Yeah, now fans is short for fanatics, but you got to learn how to do that, man. If you don't know how to do that, shame on you and learn a different way to do it. But that's all I had to say about that real quick. Again, everybody, like, share, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Also, hit that hype button. Help us get through the algorithm. Does a great job for us. But let's bring our first caller here. Shout out to my guy, Timothy Thunder Redmond. I mean, Timothy, how you doing, man?
Good.
How you feeling? How you feeling after your loss to Texas? Nah, but what's up, man? How you doing?
Good. That loss was not great.
Yeah, man, it was tough. You
Because
guys were in
the
that
first three
game, and
quarters they kept trying to catch up to us. Then they're out of the no the knowing that the three picks. He was blind. He didn't see the DV.
yeah. No, I thought that you guys I thought you guys played a good game for most of it, and then of course in that fourth quarter, man, things that's football, man. Things can go bad, and you have a young quarterback, and then Arch Manning, man, he turned up. That's what happened.
Yeah, but they saying that he just figure out college football. Yeah, announcer the announcer just the announcer just said that.
Mm-hmm. No, for sure, for sure.
Y'all would have had that has seen
Hmm?
that version of him. Would y'all yeah, y'all yeah, would y'all would that outcome the would have been the same if this version of him had showed up in September? Would the outcome be the same or different?
For you talking about for Bryce?
No
Oh, for Arch?
yeah. When he lost to Ryan Day, would the outcome be the same or different?
I mean, I don't know. It's hard to say. I mean, that was his first game starting, right? It's hard to say. Ohio State has a better defense. There's a lot of things that play into that. So I'm not really sure because then I mean I'm also thinking to myself that's you're also talking about the same version of Bryce in September. And that's not the and I would think. I mean, Bryce looked better overall. I would say in your guys' game in the Cheez-It Bowl than he did earlier in the season, like against nobodies. But yeah, it's hard to say. I would tend to say Texas would still win that game though, because I mean both teams had players, not guys that didn't play in that game, but Texas is still more talented and a better team.
Well, what's going on with Marshall? Because he practiced through the whole week. But then they said an hour before the game, somebody had told him to sit out and don't play. That was a stupid mistake he made.
He's got to get healthy, and
Yeah,
maybe that shoulder. Think about it. He came into the Ohio State game from a shoulder injury, and then re-aggravated it and
yeah,
re-injured it. Right? It's
yeah,
much better to have him sit that game out, get some other guys on the field,
yeah.
let them get some tape out there, let them get some playing time, instead of letting him go out there and get hurt again.
One of the announcers from a different announcer now he said that whatever game plan that Ryan Day that had he had compared it to the second half of the Michigan game in 22. Yeah.
I thought Ryan Day after halftime had a good game plan, but once he got, but the
I
problem
know,
is
no,
that
no. I'm talking about the first half.
yeah, no, I'm saying like that. Whatever game plan he had in the first half, he should have came in with the second half game plan first. You can't go out there with 11 personnel and like he thought they could hold up against that defensive line, they couldn't. And then when they finally figured it out, it was just too late. So
Oh well, but I do know that y'all beat us, but I was I was wondering if he would have had did that had did that the first half. Would y'all would have lost that Michigan game?
we were gonna beat the crap out of you guys no matter what, Tim.
Oh yeah.
But I gotta get to our next caller up, man. Any last thoughts? Any other thing you want to say?
Uh, 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 I kind of I, I did kind of I did have the had y'all yeah, I had y'all winning the trenches the battle,
Mm.
but but coming up short. But I wasn't expecting your def Ohio State the let a ACC school, a small ACC school, but they was 1 point away from scoring 25 points. Your defense, they almost gave up 200 yards on the
No,
ground.
well, no, the defense only gave up 17. Because they had that pick six, right? But I really
Yeah.
didn't think that I didn't think our defense played bad at all in the first half. Our defense gave up
The
seven
rushing
points.
yards, y'all gave up, yeah. The final
Yeah,
stats was about 170 or 80 something yards. So,
yeah. But I thought the defense played well. I thought in the first half they kind of saved our butts because we kept giving them the Miami offense short fields, and they held up because the offense couldn't get the ball moving. So yeah, I mean, like that last drive, it was a backbreaker, but the offense should have played much better in that game, and if they did, we
well,
probably
what's
have a
going
chance
on
to
with
win.
Elbel Weeks? His progression, but I heard some rumors that a couple of weeks and like they said that the last time that he had a sack was the Penn State game. Each game he gained for progressing. There's something wrong with
Yeah.
him.
No, he just had to he played more of a spy mode, and I didn't like a rover. I didn't like that for him. He should be on the edge, and if he did that, I think his production and his play he'd be better. Probably his stats would look different. But Tim,
I
appreciate you
know
as always.
what y'all need to do. It look it looks like yeah, y'all need to retool your offensive lineman because the pass blocking was terrible.
Yeah, yeah, it
The,
is what it is,
in
man.
two games,
I
in
mean,
two
like I said,
games,
man, those
12 sacks and 12 the almost 15 sacks in 2 games.
yeah, I mean, hey, man, hey, I don't think it's so much our defense, our O line played bad, bro. They just want to get some guys that were otherworldly. But Tim, I appreciate you as always, man.
So what's going on? Are they going?
But
What's
hey, Tim,
going
I gotta
on
get to the next caller, man.
the bye week? Because 7 out of the 8 teams have lost that had bye week. So what? So what are they gonna do? But get rid of it?
No, I don't think I think that's an overblown narrative. I don't think that really matters. I don't think that really matters. But all right, Tim, man. Hey, you have a good night, man. I gotta get to the next caller here.
Okay.
Appreciate you as always, bro. You have a good night, all right?
Ho.
All right, man. Let's get to our next caller here. My guy,
Jeez.
Dr. Buckeye David.
Yeah.
David,
Yeah.
haven't talked to you in a while, brother. How you doing?
Well, we've all been better here, Garrison. That's for sure.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I heard your opening statement. Good stuff, and I tend to agree with a lot of it. Want to get into it. I kind of went over the autopsy a little bit with Mark last night, at least as far as kind of my overall picture coming into the season. It's interesting. Me, you, and the Texas fans got together before the start of the season. And, I always have a viewpoint of an Ohio State team coming into the season. I'm with you. I don't expect to go undefeated and win the national title and beat everybody 51-0 every year. There's a word out there. It's called realistic. I think sometimes fans have a hard time being realistic.
Yeah.
And, all I know is I've seen 3 national titles in my lifetime, and I'm proud that I have, since being a Buckeye fan. And I'll say this, I thought with the amount of talent that we lost off of last year's team, and I thought this schedule was going to be difficult coming into the season, because, I thought that, first of all, everybody thought Penn State was going to be better than they were. They turned out to be terrible. And I also think we probably overrated Illinois a little bit, with that game being at Illinois. So there was a couple of teams on this schedule that were overrated from the get-go. So we have to be fair about that. And, I think we probably caught Texas at the right time early in the season, and that was the closest game we had until the Big Ten title game. So I will say this. I think a few observations, just about the game and what I saw. I knew the offensive line going into the game was going to be a big component to it, but 2 of my bigger components coming into the game were, A, how did Julian Sain look? And B, more importantly than that, or almost as important, is the offensive game plan. And, I did think, Sain, and I know a lot of it was on the offensive line. And by the way, correct me if I'm wrong, are Daniels and Sierreveld both former guards?
Daniels played tackle at
Okay.
Minnesota, and you said Saravel's been a swing guy, but he was a guard.
Yeah, he was a guard before. I knew Sierreveld was. I was unsure about Daniels. By the way, 2 bad games in a row for Daniels. It wasn't a really good Big Ten title game for Daniels.
He was pissed poor.
Yeah, it was rough. And although I do think the holding in the fourth quarter was a BS call. That was a bad call. He did not hold that guy. No. And even the ESPN people said that. So now we don't know what would have happened. Who knows? I will say I think Sierreveld was, actually I thought Sierreveld for most of the year played pretty well, Garrison. I think for most of the season he was playing pretty well. I'm wondering if the injury did have a component to his poor performance. The right guard position.
Actually, David, I didn't even notice that he was out of the game in the second half.
Yeah, I didn't either. I didn't even realize Ian Moore was playing in that second half.
Yeah.
I would say, the right guard position was a problem the entire year. It was interesting. Last year, Tegra played so well in the playoff, and I thought there would be a carryover effect to him coming into this season, and there just never was. There was no consistency there. And, that's why I felt confident with the offensive line kind of coming into the season. I will say, to the game plan component, they could have given those tackles more help in the game, Garrison. They could have max protected. They could have chipped on those DNs. Yeah. They could have done some things like that. I watched the Browns game last weekend. They were chipping on Myles Garrett in that game. They were doubling him. You can do some things to kind of work around offensive line issues. I understand games are won and lost in the trenches, but you can do some things to mitigate that pass rush. And that's where I have to say, you know what, as much as the poor offensive line play, we can fault the game plan here. I don't know if you and Mike got into that the other day, but what are your thoughts?
Yeah, so I thought the game plan that we came in with was bad, starting off with 11 personnel. I thought that I think Ryan Day thought that maybe they could hold up, the offensive line could. And with the game plan that we had in the second half, starting with the third quarter, the first drive, that should have been the game plan to start the game.
Good point, by the way. Can I just real quick on that, Garrison? They ran gap, to start the second half on those running plays with Bo Jackson. And by the way, I think Bo should have maybe gotten a few more carries in the game. Some people have been down a little bit on Bo, and I don't know why. I know everybody compares every Ohio State running back to like Zeke or Dobbins. I'm sorry, he's not Zeke or Dobbins, but I think he's had a really good freshman year. To me, he was victimized by bad run blocking for most of the year. There were a number of carries where Bo got the ball early in the year, and he had a defender right in his lap because somebody missed a block on the line. So I thought he had a really good year, and I thought he could have used a few more carries possibly in this one. I know Julian played a lot better in the second half, but you know, um, I thought that was really key to kind of get things going. And, uh, you're right. We wish we would have seen more of that in the first half. Is that where you were going with how bad it was in the first half with the game plan?
Yeah, because specifically at the run game, look at the way that we're like the scheme we were using, the 12 and 13 personnel. We should have been using that. We should have been like moving guys around,
Hmm.
having the defensive line's eyes in different places, and using that in order to get Bo going.
Hmm.
I thought we should have. I mean, Mike mentioned this also yesterday. We should have used that and had Cardell Tate and Jeremiah out there with Max Clare. I thought that would have helped us also.
Hmm.
Yeah, the plan that we had in that second half, that should have been the plan from the get-go, and that should have been the plan. Of course, you had to make adjustments throughout the game, but
Sure.
that should have been the plan starting to go out. I do want to bring this up. Aaron, shout out to Aaron, my guy. Aaron says somebody says something like, "What does Sandu elite?" I couldn't find an answer. I have an easy one for you, Aaron.
Yeah.
When you look in the record books and you look at completion percentage, you're going to see his name above everybody else's. That's
Right.
what he does elite, bro. He's a hyper accurate quarterback.
Go
He
ahead.
just needs to learn, bro. He needs. There's so many times in this game where he should have just taken off.
Yeah.
And again, he needs to learn to look over the middle when it's not Jeremiah, and you need to be able. You can't be stepping back in that pocket like that far. You can't be doing, because when you're in shotgun, you're already 3 to 5 yards behind the line of scrimmage already to an extent. At some, depending on how many steps you take, you can't go back 5 more steps. You just can't do that.
Garrison, I'm glad the caller went there, or the person in the chat went there, because I was going to go there with saying that, and I want to go there in a few different areas here. I agree. I think he's got high level arm talent. I really do.
Mm-hmm.
And I was even defending him earlier in the year when people were saying check down Merchant. I thought the guy was just doing a good job of going through his progressions most of the time. Now, a lot of people were screaming. I'm going to get into this in a second, but I thought for the most part he did a good job of going through his progressions most of the year. And corners were always playing Jeremiah and Carnell off. You know what I mean? So they were going to give us easy throws, and he did a good job of taking that for the most part, during the season. You got to be fair. I mean, teams are going to cover Ohio State receivers. They're going to play cover 2. They're going to play cover 3. They're going to keep those safeties back. I mean, we can't be dropping 50, 60-yard bombs all the time. Sometimes we have to take what the defense gives us. And for the most part, I think Julian's done that. Now, to that point about missed throws down the field, though, what did you think about the throw right before the pick six where he had the tight end down the field, down the seam there? Was that a missed opportunity, or was the pressure too much there to where you don't think he could maybe hit that? I don't know. What are your thoughts on that?
I think that unless it's Julian or I'm not Julian, but unless it's JJ or Carnell Tate, he struggles to look at other people across the middle.
Okay.
Plenty of times through the season, you can see Brandon in his butt ass open down the middle, bro.
Big Ten title game, exactly.
Yeah.
Yep.
Same thing with Max Clare, and I mean, and you would think that. I mean, what was it? It was in the game when he hit Kazmarek over the middle, and that really great pass and catch from them. You would like that. I thought that was some progression there, but it didn't carry over to the biggest games of our season.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, I don't know, man. He just didn't see it. I mean, there's that touchdown where he had Max Clare open, didn't see it. It was that pass where, I mean, he didn't see Tate on this one. It was like we're near our own end zone.
Yeah, Pollock did the screenshot. I saw it online. Mm-hmm. It's kind of a tougher play because he's at the sideline, but he had time to make the throw, and he's running right down the middle of the field. He had him. I mean, Cardinal might have hit his head on the goalpost. Yeah.
Well, my problem is this.
Yeah.
And maybe by that time he's so punch drunk from getting hit, he doesn't trust his offensive line at that moment in time that he doesn't think he can get there.
Right.
But that same play, we've been running that play all year. You roll out to your left, you search back, you stop, you look back to your right, you go down the middle, and you have Jeremiah or Carnell Tate just streaking down the field. We've been hitting that play all season.
Yeah.
So I think for him at that moment in time, and again, this is something he needs to work on. You gotta get out your own head. You got to. You can't play fearful.
Right.
You can't do that, man. David, real quick, I'm
Yeah.
gonna stay up here, man. I'm gonna bring up Jared
Okay.
and Philip actually. And
Okay.
Jared, I'm gonna let you go ahead and start first, man. What's going on, Jared?
Yep.
Hey, what's going on? How you guys doing?
Hey, how
Good
you doing, man?
yourself? Happy New Year.
Yep.
Oh, Happy New Year. Well, I'm not an Ohio State fan, but I was kind of I was really rooting for you guys to win, and I was kind of just baffled about how that game went, man. I think I credit to Miami, man. I think they just played real well. But one thing that was real baffling to me
Yep.
was make it Ryan Day calling plays, especially when you saw that Oregon was in the same boat with their defensive coordinator going to Cal to be head coach, but he still called the game. And you saw what Oregon did; they pitched a shutout. And I was that kind of baffled me. I feel like you guys should have just stuck with what you've done all year. Have Heartline still call plays, you know?
My only, I hear what you're saying. My only pushback with that is that Will Stein has been calling plays for more than one season. It's been a few seasons now. He's been the OC there, whereas BH, this was his first time.
Mhm.
And truth be told, I can live with Ryan Day calling the plays. I can live with that. I can go down with the ship on that. What I didn't want was BH doing it. I just, because at the end of the day, in my mind, I can't believe that BH would have called a better game.
All right.
Okay.
Well, that's fair. That's fair, yeah.
Yeah, the one point, just real quick on that, I just make a quick point. Don't we all feel, Garrison, that to a certain degree, when Brian's calling the plays, are kind of just filtered through Ryan to a certain extent?
Yes.
You know, I mean, it is Heartline, but it's kind of like Heartline / Day. I always think to a certain extent. I don't know how you feel on that, or how our other two guests feel about that, but you know.
Yeah. Hey, Philip, what's going on, brother? Oh, Philip might not be. Oh, there you go.
Hey, what's up, guys? Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, I can hear you, Philip. What's going
Yeah,
on,
we
man?
got you.
Hey, what's up, guys? What's up? I'm still trying to get over this loss. You know, it's been so long since I've seen an Ohio State offense go through the half we just went through. Honestly, I put it on X, but this really reminded me as a fan. I haven't seen our offensive line get whipped like this since 2006 in that
Yeah.
national championship game against Florida. And when I say that, it doesn't mean like we got whipped as in they were stunting and blitzing and things like that. I mean, some of those things you can't really guard against. Especially if you're only having a 5-6 man offensive line setup. But it just looked like man on man. I mean, they just looked like they were just the better dudes out there. And when you look at our offensive line, I know we weren't a Joe Moore finalist, but I mean, there's nothing that I saw from this year playing in the Big Ten, playing against Texas, that gave me any concern that, through a 4-quarter game, we couldn't hold up. And it just like, you just look at the film from the game and we were just getting beat across the board. I don't think there was one starter that did not get beat on at least 1 or 2 plays throughout that game. So, in the past, we always had like people like Isaiah Prince. We've had, DeJuan Jones. We had Tigger Chipola. We had people that we could identify like, okay, they're the weak link or they're the fish on the offensive line.
Right.
This game, it felt like it was everyone. Nobody had a great game. And it made me feel, in a sense, that it felt like our whole offensive line, everybody's playing out of position. That's what really made me feel at the end of the day. It's like, what the heck are we evaluating? I mean, if we're getting our best 5 players on the field, so be it. But it really just felt like we had 5 guys, our 5 best players on the offensive line out there, but nobody was really playing in their best position. And I think that's across the board.
I agree. We were talking about this before you got on. I mean, they had, the right guard position was a mess the entire year, and then on top of that, I thought Daniels had already struggled in the Big Ten title game before this, at the other tackle spot. And then Austin picks a bad day to, not have a good day and then get hurt. Now, I will say this. I thought the line played a little bit better in the second half, which allowed us to get back in the game. Amazingly enough, that score was only 14-0 at halftime. I actually felt like it could have even been worse at halftime.
Mm-hmm.
And, The bottom line is it was 17-14 with Ohio State having the ball at what the 9 or 10 minute mark, was it, Garrison?
Yeah.
At near midfield.
About.
For as badly as Ohio State got whipped in the trenches, think about that for a second. It's 17-14 with Ohio State at the ball at midfield. I mean, and I agree with you. I don't think the offensive line was great. I still think that there's some things with game planning that they could have done different to help them out. Maybe a little bit more emphasis on run game, some screen game, some things like that to kind of help them out a little bit. I think there was some game planning issues, like I mentioned to Garrison earlier. I don't know if you guys have some thoughts on that, but
I agree. I mean, I would say this. I mean, I was just looking at the stats right now while you're talking, Dr. Buckeye.
Yeah.
It's baffling to me. We ran the ball with our running backs, our actual running backs, only 26 times this entire game.
Yeah.
And I just think this whole game plan Ryan Day had of like run and shoot. I mean, Miami is not that type of team you run and shoot against. And I really think, it did our whole offense as a disservice. Even the route concepts. I mean, the route concepts I saw even just watching the game live, I'm like, why are these taking so long to progress? Why are these routes taking about 3 to 5 seconds to develop down the field? Why are we not playing the intermediate game? And one thing I really felt like Julian Sand got away from this season. I mean, you saw him at the beginning of the season. He was dinking and dunking to our running backs in a lot higher clip than I felt like he was doing at the beginning of the game. Now, towards the end of the game, he got C.J. Donaldson involved in the run game, thank God. Yeah. But that was almost, in a sense, going back to, I feel like, at the end of the day, you just do what you can do best. Ryan Day, I think, kind of went back to what he knew Julian Sand did best. But, I mean, if you ask me, I really think Ryan Day put too much trust in his quarterback. And I think go ahead. I'm sorry, Dick.
No, I was gonna say, I do think, like I said it earlier, maybe a week and a half before the game, if Ryan Day didn't implement that game plan SMU did, it would be a grave mistake. Like if you're gonna go out there, you're gonna use 5 offensive linemen at the tight end. You gotta stretch that field out. You gotta do short passes, quick plays. We have game changers. We have Cardinal Tate. We have Jeremiah Smith. Let those guys catch the ball within 3 to 5 yards and let them go make things work. I thought that trying to make long developing plays so early in the game, you just couldn't make that happen. And then Philip, I think it was Philip, when you bring up the offensive line, early Mike and I talked about this yesterday. And when throughout the offseason, they said that every single one of our offensive linemen have secondary positions. And so I had asked this question on X to some Ohio State fans, and I said, like, what do you think we probably should have moved Luke Montgomery to the right guard spot to put some, kind of equal out the offensive line a little bit? And they said no, because that kind of throws things in limbo. But I'm like, no. They told us these guys have secondary positions. If that's the case, you should be using that to our advantage and trying to because you can't have it because this is the 3rd year in a row now, and it's so weird. I'm gonna say this, guys. I think I have to go to a commercial break, and then we're gonna continue. Yeah. For 3 years in a row now, that right side of the offensive line has been completely terrible. And outside of last year in the playoffs, I don't know why. You can't really pinpoint anything on why that is. But if you know that somewhere throughout the season that's the case, you've got to find a way to equal things out. You can't have one side be so good and the other side be so lackluster. It just doesn't work out well for the team, and it can put you in very bad situations. But before we continue, guys, here at the conversation, everybody, again, if you have a gambling problem, please call 1-800-GAMBLER. You must be 21 of age or older to do so. But quick message here from the Voice of College Football.
College football is even more exciting when you've got some action on the line, and the games are even better when you're cashing in. And the Voice of College Football is the place to be to get the greatest value. Start with my picks. 75% against the money line, 58% against the spread, and I've got a 40-plus year track record. 11-0 in the college football playoff for me last year against the money line, 8-3 against the spread. And I'm just the warm-up act. Steve Merrill of Wager Talk is our ace in the hole. showstopper. 7 years with the voice of college football, over 30 years in the industry. Steve gives us analysis on all the big games, but you can't miss Steve's weekly under-the-radar pick. 28-12 against the spread the last 3 years. You also get picks from some of our top analysts here at the Voice of College Football, including Corey Bratta, Matt Zemek, and Steve Dace. Check out those numbers. Become a YouTube or Patreon member for just $99 per month. Go to the main channel on YouTube, click join, and then select a betting tier. Do the same thing on Patreon. Make 2025 a winner now.
Hey, Garrison, one quick comment on that, on the right side. I thought Padilla, who I thought was going to be played, they rotated Padilla and Tegra, I think, a year ago. I think Padilla had injury problems, if I'm not mistaken, early in the season. I actually thought he was going to be the guy that came in for Tegra. From what I heard, I thought Padilla had played a good second half in that game, from what I was hearing.
Yeah, real quick, shout out to Don for the 199. Says a sharper for your hat, bro. I don't know if you guys know this, but like in Cali, a lot of people wear things called 5 panels. Don, I'm not sure if you've ever been to California, but this is a 5 panel, bro. So yeah, you got to get hip. But
shout out Don.
But thank you, Don, for the 199, bro. Much appreciated, bro. You my guy.
Advertisement.
But no, go ahead, Jared.
Oh, I was just gonna say that I think one aspect of this game is the experience of quarterback. I think was just massive in this game too. I mean, you saw with the way Carson Beck, the way he was navigating the pocket, and a lot of times getting out of the pocket and running for a first down and stuff. It just looked like a crafty veteran in the way he was. I think that was a big to determining that game was experience at quarterback. I mean, you have a 60-year senior like Carson Beck. He didn't make a lot of mistakes either.
Yeah. And real quick, David. Yeah, I did think Padilla, man. It's clearly our best right guard in the room. Yeah. And I thought he played decently in the game. And to what you just said, Jared. Yeah, you can see that, man. And that, that's what we brought up. You look at the times that he should have been moving up in the pocket and then scrambling, and then not scrambling, but moving up, get 4 yards, get 3 yards, get 5 yards, get 6. He didn't do that,
right? And never took any losses. Never took any loss of yards.
And go ahead.
But even to go back to the offensive line talk, because you guys are totally correct about Carson Beck, but there's a way to mitigate having a younger quarterback. But my big problem with the offensive line, I used to play offensive line, so I understand it's a little bit better than I think most people. We just have a whole offensive line full of guards and centers. Who do we have? Who do we have out there that is actually going to place tackle in the NFL? And that's the real problem. That's the really
good point, because people don't think about that,
And then it doesn't matter when you play against the Big Ten, because let's be honest, I love the Big Ten as much as everybody else. But how many elite pass rushers are we seeing coming out of the Big Ten on an annual basis? And that's one thing I will give the ACC even over the Big Ten. They may have terrible coaching. That's why their teams never succeed to the level of Big Ten teams, because we just have better coaching. But they have better athletes, especially at those edge positions.
Well, yeah.
Our tackles just looked like they were not used to seeing that level of speed or technique. And
real quick, David, before you continue on the conversation.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Shout out to Don for the 499. Says, Ninja, you live in Michigan. I also lived in Cali for 5 years.
Don B always coming with the jokes, man.
Yeah, that's my guy, man. I love that guy. Well, go ahead, David.
No, I Philip, we were actually talking about that before you got on. Because Sierraveld is a converted guard, now playing tackle. So I agree with you. I think that I actually think that that's the one thing. I always said that was one of the big things that made the difference between like the SEC, Big Ten, was D-line play. I mean, if anything moves the needle other than quarterback, it's D-line play. You know what I mean? Yeah, I mean, actually, it's kind of crazy. If you go back and watch when Ohio State upset Miami in 2002, one of the biggest things that in that game for Ohio State was the way Ohio State's D-line played. The late Will Smith led a really good D-line that played great that night against Ken Dorsey in Miami. And, so, yeah, I mean, and what was the thing like Urban upped when he got here? We had that run of 3 in a row where you go Joey Bosa, Nick Bosa to Chase Young, all 3 in a row as edge guys. So yeah, I mean, I get your point. You know, there's no doubt about it. I was going to say though, what did you guys think of the way the defense played? I thought, some people got on the defense. I know wasn't our best effort on defense, but I mean, the bottom line is still the bottom line. I mean, we only gave up 17 offensive points. I don't know if you guys have some thoughts on the defense.
Yeah,
But my whole thing. Sorry, Garrison. My whole thing
ahead.
about our defense.
Yeah.
You looked at the guys out there outside of people like IGB and Caleb Downs, and occasionally you'll get it from Caden McDonald or Edric Houston. It really didn't seem like a lot of those guys. Like I looked at somebody like Arvo Reese.
Yeah.
Did he look like he gave an F out there? Not saying he doesn't, because obviously I know he does.
Yeah.
Where did you see that mean streak that you saw out of him in the beginning of the season? Like even Jermaine Matthews. Jermaine Matthews is supposed to be.
Who'd you say first? Caden?
I said Arville Reese. I said outside of Caden McDonald, IGB, Caleb Downs, and occasionally like Caden McDonald or Edric Houston. I didn't see no real passion from a down to down from our leaders. Even Sonny Styles. It's like they're thinking too much out there. And because they were thinking so dang much, it felt like they weren't playing with their heads loose. That's just my whole thing. I didn't mind our defensive performance. I felt like we played about average. I mean, if you even look at the Illinois game, I mean, this game kind of really reminded me of the Illinois game from a defensive perspective, to be honest. But I just suspected, everybody to have a month of rest, to come rejuvenated, and to play with your hair on fire. But I mean, we saw it more from the Miami players than we did our players. And I can't say I've seen that in the last few seasons where it just looked like our guys just didn't have the same level of energy as the other guys.
My thing with the defense is I felt like the defense played well enough to keep them in the game. But I just keep going back to that last drive Miami had. When you just allow them to go on that really long drive to put the game away, I mean, you just can't let that to happen. And I know they did a good job keeping them in the game, but that's a point that you gotta stand up right there. You can't let them take that long drive down the field and put the game away like that. But I don't feel like Ohio State played good complementary football, because when the offense got hot in the second half, obviously the defense let them go on that long drive to put it away. But even when the defense was making stops, like when it was 17-14, defense got the ball back for Ohio State. The offense didn't hold up their end of the bargain. I just don't feel like they played good complementary football with each other. The offensive defense.
I'm not necessarily mad about the defense, and this is why. In that first half, the amount of short fields Miami was given, it could have gotten real bad.
Yeah, it's true.
Right.
It could have gotten ugly really early. The defense gave us 7 points in that first half, 17 points overall. That last drive, that was a backbreaker. But I think that the only and also with Arvell, I think that's just a schematic thing and a coaching thing. They've had him playing like a rover all season. Arvell Reese is an edge, and that's where he should be. And the truth of the matter is, Arvell is probably going to go in the first round. He's going to get a first round grade. He would really do well to come back at the college, I think.
Yeah.
Real quick, I'm going to bring up Harris. Harris, how are you?
What's up, guys? How you doing?
Good. What's on your mind, man?
No, I hear you guys are talking about the defense, and I don't necessarily agree with Philip. I feel like guys did care, but when you're playing, I mean, the defense in the first half, they were on the field almost the entire game. I mean, it was ridiculous because the tackles couldn't handle any of the edge pressure. I mean, Bain, the way he was able to bend the edge on Philip Daniels, he's got a lot of upside. I like him a lot. He's a tough kid, mean kid. But the way he moves out of his stance, it's like he's laid off the ball every time. I don't know if you guys noticed that too, but same with, Sierraveld, I love Sierraveld. He's a great kid, captain, all that. He's not a tackle. I mean, this team desperately needed Ethan Onyanwa to be what he was supposed to be, what they paid him to be, the starting left tackle, right?
Right.
When he wasn't, that's where you're putting a guard, like a natural guard, sliding him to left tackle, the most important position on the offensive line, maybe the most important position on the offense, and in general. It's
You know what
just
that goes to prove real quick is how much Donovan Jackson saved the season last year after the Simmons injury.
Agreed.
You know what I mean? One of the biggest things last year was Donovan Jackson saving the season last year to come in at tackle after the Simmons situation.
yeah.
I
And then
mean, but I just think, who did we really go against that was the elite edge like that in the college football playoffs? The best guy we probably went against in that whole entire playoffs was probably that guy from Tennessee in the
Mhm.
first game, and
Mhm.
he played mostly on he shadowed mostly Josh Fryer that entire game. He didn't really go against Donovan Jackson like that.
Yeah,
Um,
Pierce. Yeah,
yeah, James Pierce. And he's
right.
an outside linebacker. He's not really a true defensive end like that. So I think you're correct. Donovan Jackson should get a lot of kudos for his performance, and
Yeah.
that's why he went in the first round.
Mm.
But I think we also got lucky. Let's be honest. I mean, we can all be revisionist histories, but I really think we got lucky with our draw last year in the playoffs. And I think we played against 3 teams that we just were better. I mean, 4 teams that we just matched up very well against. And we
I
just
mean,
happened to
I
play
think
that
last year
one
we would have
team.
beat anybody in the playoffs. I don't know. I don't even think it's a matchup thing.
Yeah, I don't
I
think it
agree
would
with
have mattered
Garrison.
who.
Yeah.
I mean, Donovan Jackson clamped up Pierce. I mean, multiple times when he lined up on his side of the ball, and he just clamped him up right when he got off the stance. He clamped him up. He wasn't able to do nothing. I mean, they moved him around. Fryer was like kind of a cone out there. Not gonna lie.
Real quick,
But-
shout out to my guy Richie W. Says this is a Bowen man. 85% of the offensive line issues are on Bowen's O line.
Hey,
I will say this. I don't necessarily disagree with you, Richie, or with this statement, but I am going to point this out. These are Fry's recruits.
Yeah, you
There you
can't
go.
blame Bowen for this season.
But you know what, though? We haven't liked our last 3 offensive line coaches now because nobody liked Stud, by the way, a few years ago. Nobody liked Stud. Not a lot of people liked Fry. And now these people, it's like, can we find an offensive line coach that anybody really likes?
Hard. It's
Yeah.
hard.
Yeah.
I mean, mostly if you're a good offensive line developer, I mean, you're in the NFL.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie. As somebody that, like I said, I used to play offensive line. I have a couple buddies of
Yep.
mine that are offensive line coaches. I mean, heck, one of my friends from college used to be an assistant under Stud,
Yep.
as a grad assistant, and he's always telling me like, dude, offensive line coaches. One thing a lot of great offensive line coaches hate to do is recruit. They don't like to recruit. They want to just be out there developing players. And unfortunately, the way offensive linemen are nowadays, I mean, you got to recruit. And most of these head coaches, they want an elite recruiter at the offensive line position rather than a developer. I mean, that's what makes Sharon Moore and Mario Cristobal, when they were head coach, when Moore was a head coach, a little bit better because they could assist with the on offensive line development as well as recruiting, which, I mean, that's a big thing.
All right, hey guys, I'm gonna make a little room here because I have a few people I want to call in.
Well, hey, I'm going to check out Garrison. I do have to run. Thanks for having me on. And as always, OH to you guys.
Io, Jared, man, do you have any last comments on the game? Anything else you want to talk? Want to leave us with?
Well, I was just gonna ask, didn't it just feel like watching this game that just not to take anything away from Miami, just felt like the ball bounced Miami's way all night. Like Malachi Tony put the ball on the ground twice and it just bounced right back into his arms and he kept running and it didn't even happen. And then they had a couple punts where it looked like it was going to go in the end zone and the guy just miraculously hits it back out. Like it just felt like all night the ball was just bouncing their way. Yeah, and sometimes you just can't prepare for that, man. Sometimes it's just the ball bounces the other team's way.
That's how it goes, man. There's nothing you can do about that. Like we talked about it yesterday, and I said, bro, that kind of reminded me of what was it 2019 when Ohio State played Michigan, and J.K. Dobbins fumbles the ball coming through the line of scrimmage, and it bounces right back in his hands. He runs for 25 yards, and you can't really do anything about that, man. It is what it is, and luck is hard work meeting opportunity, and sometimes the opportunity doesn't get there, man. This is what it is.
Well, thanks for letting me up, man. I'm a Notre Dame fan, but I've always liked the Ohio State fans. I always like interacting with you guys, but I was rooting for you guys hard. But sorry for you guys who lost.
All right, Jared, you have a good night, man. Appreciate it. And
all right, you too. Thank you, man.
And Harris, you can stay up here, man. You just got up here. Real quick before we continue, I'm gonna read this real quick. Super chat from Jam. Shout out to Jam for the $4.99. She says we had to replace a ton of starters and coordinators in Fry, so we did better than we thought. And yeah, and that's why I will say, Jam. I kept telling people, I thought I would be angrier about this game. A, because it's Miami. B, because you're trying to get into another national championship. But at the beginning of the season, my expectation was beat the team up north, get to the Big Ten championship, win that. Then we'll see what the cards lay out. Didn't know if this team could win a national championship. And maybe they still could have. I don't know. But they played a better team in Miami. And that's what happened. And they lost that game. I'm going to bring up real quick because we have a few minutes here. Then I'm going to have a conversation with my guy, Maze Madman. But we're going to bring up generational defense fumbler and Taz. How you guys doing, man?
Yeah, man. Yeah, man.
It's Ben. What's going on, Ben?
Hey, what's up, man? I'd be sick, man, if I didn't win a natty with that defense, man. I'd be feeling sick right now.
Listen, man. It is what it is, bro. I mean, the offense wasn't like. Here's the truth of the matter, bro. And like everybody wants to say the offensive line, the defensive line, whatever. Bro, I'm gonna give Miami credit for having a damn great defensive line. That
Nice.
listen. Like I'll tell you what, Ben. Like your guys' defensive line was really good. Like in the guys' championship year, bro, and like the year before or year after, bro. Like those type of athletes, bro, they were different. They're different, bro. They had a massive offensive line, and they didn't make the mistakes. They had a quarterback that looked he was tenured and he looked tenured, and they made the necessary plays, and that's just what happened.
Hey, no disrespect to Larry. I love Larry Johnson, but Jason Taylor, whenever Larry decides to hang it up, I mean, I want him to stay however long he wants to stay, obviously.
On a serious football note, my bad. I didn't mean to interrupt. Go ahead.
I was about to say, Jason Taylor, he's a damn good D-line coach.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah. It's one thing I noticed, though, as great as the defense has been all year, one thing I noticed is in these last two games, they did not generate, the front four especially, did not generate a consistent pass rush. The quarterbacks in these last two games, you had Caden Curry had his moments against Indiana, but outside of that, they had both quarterbacks.
Kenyatta did.
Kenyatta was getting you got
to go rewatch that game. Like we were on his ass.
He made some good plays.
I think you got to rewatch that game.
But against Miami,
I felt. Here's how I feel about the defense, bro. Like I think a lot of the pressures you do get, I think they're coverage sacks. I don't think it's initial pressure. I think they're sitting back there for 2 to 3 seconds, can't find a receiver because your secondary is covering so well, and then you get some pressure. Versus when you watch like Miami and you watch Indiana, they're getting pressure almost at the snap of the ball. And that's one thing I noticed is to contrast what's going on is I think what really made you guys' defense so great is even when you guys lack the pressure, that secondary I think was what made that defense. That back seven made that defense.
I feel you. Hey Taz, man, what's going on?
What's going on?
Not much, brother. What's on your mind?
Yeah, I get the feeling that for as good as we were this year, I think we were a year early.
I agree.
And the reason I say that is because, for as good as Julian Saying was, this is still his first year as a first, red shirt freshman. With what we had to replace on defense, everybody thought that this would essentially kind of be a rebuild year. But with the success that Patricia had, once he got a hold of that defense and they came out and they was just suffocating teams from game one, the Texas game, now we just fall into the conversation of, well, Ohio State can go back and win it all. But throughout the course of the season, we still had issues that we did not iron out. We had red zone issues. We had offensive line issues. It was basically the offensive side of the ball that wasn't getting it together. The defense was good for just about all of the season until the last two games where they decided, I ain't going to say they took the game off, but we wasn't adjusting correctly. And
I agree with you, bro. That's why I said earlier, man. I thought that with the game plan that Ryan Day brought out in the second half for offensively, bro, that was a half too late, bro.
Exactly.
It was just too late. And like
exactly.
maybe like me, And like maybe like me, bro, like in that third quarter, like I could feel the momentum gaining for us through the TV, but then you have penalties. But then you have sacks bad sacks you're taking. Like again, like it's one thing to be 2nd and 13, 2nd and 19, that's a different story. And
Exactly.
so like when you do things like that, man, and again, shout out to Miami's defense, bro. Like I can't take anything away from that.
Yep, I got to give Miami's defense their props. They did exactly what they were supposed to do. Their defensive coordinator, that dude's he's a stud. I got to give him his props because they knew going into the game that, hey, Ohio State got offensive line problems, particularly on the right side. So what do? Yeah, we had Tegra all year who, for better or worse, was either playing hurt a lot of games or he just wasn't good or it was somewhere in between for both of them.
Yeah, I'm gonna be honest.
Did Tegra even play that much?
Imagine what's up, Ben?
And he's still a freshman.
Tegra didn't play this game, I thought.
No, thank God he
this
did.
game.
Well, whoever replaced him wasn't that much better.
Well,
that was Gabe Van Sickle, the freshman.
Yeah, so Gabe played the first half, and I think the last
Padilla went in secondly, right?
And and Padilla came in the second and got a little bit better. And then Austin Sarabell didn't play most of the I don't think he played the second half.
Did he get hurt?
So now
yeah, and Ian Moore didn't play bad.
Sarabell got hurt.
Yeah,
Sarabell got hurt.
Ian Moore didn't play bad, but
I thought he was playing really well.
Tough.
Ian Moore did good when they put him in.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
Well, correct me if I'm wrong, Garrison, but wasn't the big change they made in the second half? They did a lot more gap scheme and ran the ball a lot more in the second half.
Gap and 12 and 13 personnel. Yeah.
Yeah, that to me, chipping the ends and stuff. That was the big difference in that. I will say, correct me, maybe you know better than me. Do you think Ryan Day still has a problem with not telling his quarterbacks not to run the ball?
No, I don't think he did that. I don't think he did that. I think Julian just didn't do it.
Yeah, I agree.
I think Julian just didn't do it.
I disagree because there were times where Sayin did run and there wasn't much of an issue when he allowed it. But I think that philosophically, Ryan Day doesn't want his quarterbacks to run. We saw the same thing with C.J. Stroud. He didn't start taking off until that Georgia game, where he had all season beforehand that had the same opportunity to run, and he never did it.
Yeah, because there was that third down where he should have ran the ball before the end.
Yeah, it was like 3rd and 3. Like he was right there, and nobody was in front of him.
Yeah, it's just hard for me to say that he is if I don't know. Because the truth of the matter is that I've only seen Julian do that twice this year, and that's just not. And he hasn't had to do that, so I don't know. Right. Maybe he has. Taz, maybe you're right. Ben, maybe you're right. I don't know. I just can't believe in a high leverage game he's going to tell him not to do it.
The only reason I say that is because you go back and you look at Julian Sayin's high school tape. That kid used to run. He used to actually look for contact.
That's high school.
Hey, there's one situation where I remember where Julian. It was in the Michigan game. It was that 3rd down where he ran and got it, and Ryan Day was running with him. And after the game, he said, those are the kind of something along the lines of those are the kind of plays that show what you're about, kind of stuff like that. I don't remember exactly what he said, but he was talking about it in the post-game press conference. So that makes me believe that I don't think he's telling him not to run. I think honestly, Julian, he kind of got shook against Miami. I mean, he was getting hit a lot.
But that's another great point though. He was rattled from the first snap.
Yes.
And once again, this goes to experience. Yes, you done won us 12 games in the regular season, but it wasn't against teams of this caliber. And the last time that you was behind the ball, or last time you was on the, you were on the line and you getting ready to go, you got Indiana players, defensive line in particular, doing different twists and stunts, things that you ain't seen. Now, granted, Miami didn't do a lot of that. They just had bigger, stronger, faster guys that was able to blow our guys off the ball. Our line couldn't handle them. So from snap one, he already in his head. It doesn't do very well for someone who's never been there before. So I'm giving him the benefit of the doubt that, you know what, we put a lot of pressure on you because, hey, you done took the reigning national champs all the way through the season. You done beat your rival. Yeah, you didn't win the Big Ten championship because we had our own issues that particular week. But I think a lot of pressure was put on him.
Well, hey guys,
So,
I'm gonna bring up a few new callers real quick as we got in the show here quickly. But before I do that, I want you guys to give your final thoughts on the season. Ben, of course, you can too. But yeah, go ahead.
okay. My final thoughts on the season. Once again, we were a year early. I'm hoping that with the things that's happening now with the transfer portal opening up on Monday, we don't lose too many more. That's my biggest fear at this time. Is it seems a lot of players are getting ready to jump ship, so I hope that we're able to retain them. But for the
Mhm.
most part, hey, we checked off one on the list. We beat Michigan this year. So now Ryan Day has to go back and do what he does every season and try to fix what went wrong at the end of the season. Because now we just got left with a what if season once again.
Harris.
Yeah. So my thoughts on the season, it was a great season. I had a lot of fun watching, especially that defense. Julian coming out, surprising everyone, being a Heisman finalist. One of the most accurate quarterbacks I've seen in a long time. Just, especially Ryan Day beating Michigan. That was awesome to see, getting that monkey off his back. But, he's got to go get a coordinator. That's the biggest thing for him right now. And I know we're at the limit for coaches right now. So, and I'm not saying I want Keenan Bailey to leave, but if he were to leave and go join Brian Hartline, wouldn't be too upset. Go get Brian Dable. Go get someone else that can, call plays at a high level. But one last comment or kind of question I want to throw out here, but I don't know if you guys talked about it, but the way that Miami's D-line was teeing off on the silent count, especially in the first half, it reminded me a lot of the Indiana game last year when they played us in the horseshoe, and the way our D-line was just snapping off the ball. They knew exactly. They were timing it up perfectly. They knew it. They knew their silent count.
That was
That's what it
Tyreek
felt like,
Williams.
Yeah.
especially in the first half of this Miami game. And I don't even know why we had a silent count. I mean, there were more OSU fans at that game than Miami fans. So
I've heard that
hear
point
you,
brought
bro.
up a lot of places about the silent count that we shouldn't have never ran that. We should have switched up our snap count because they were predicting it and winning
yeah,
every time they did it.
yeah, and especially when you got two. I mean, Mesidor and Bain, those are probably the two best edge rushers we've seen since since Ryan Day's been here.
Yeah.
I mean, they're elite.
Ben, how about you, man? And I'm sure I'll talk to you more soon, Ben. But how about you?
Yeah, no, for sure. Yeah, my final thoughts is, look, Julian Saint had a very good year. I would, you guys got that monkey off your back for sure with Michigan. But, when I look at this defense, I think this defense is going to take a major step back next year. I think this was the year if you were going to do it personally. You guys lose a lot on that defense. I think you guys got to maybe look at a new offensive line coach because Tegra, maybe I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure he played pretty well in the playoffs last year. So I think that might be a coaching issue with what's going on with the offensive line. They took obviously a major step back. But yeah, look, man, better luck in the future. But yeah, generational defense fumble. Never seen anything like it. Go Blue.
Okay. There's Ben for you, everybody. Then next, everybody, I'm gonna bring up a few more people here that we're gonna end the show. Let's go ahead and bring up my guy, Maze. Brother, how you doing? We're gonna bring up Richie Dubs. And then I have no idea who Miami Garrison is.
What's up, bro?
Oh, is this Gmo?
Nah, this 50, man.
Oh, 50? Oh, what's going on, man? Hey,
What up,
How much, man? Hey, Maze, what's up, bro?
How you doing, man? I'm doing good. I'm all right.
Are you sure? Are you sure you're good?
Bro, I am lovely, bro. I wasn't good, and then all I did was wait a few hours, and then I was great.
Were you still fine after you saw Cole Sullivan left?
Oh.
No, that one sucks. That does suck a little bit. That's the biggest, of all the people that are in the portal right now for Michigan. That one hurts the most to me.
But what's up? What do you want to talk about, my guy?
I'm
gonna give everybody three minutes here that we gotta get going. But
what
what's
I
up?
Talk about. And by the way, shout out to you for waiting until you had to get off air to bring me up.
No, but I got
No,
I got
it's all
with
right.
Buckeye
It's all right.
fans talking grief.
I'm not taking it. I'm not taking it
I
personally.
could be like our boy. I could be like our boy Johnny, and not let the Ohio State fans up.
Listen, this is what I want to say, bro. Y'all played 3 ranked teams this season.
Yeah.
Well, actually, excluding Michigan. Let's
You're
take
ranked.
Michigan out of. We were ranked. Take us out of the equation because clearly we didn't deserve it. But you played 3 other ranked teams. You averaged 16 points a game against those 3 teams that were actually football teams, right? I'm here to say you guys were never as good as you thought you were.
Okay.
Right? Your
That's
defense.
fair.
Your defense, though, I'm gonna give them some credit because on paper they were good and they actually played well. I don't care who you play, allowing less than 17 points a game or 17 points period until yesterday, right? Nobody else scored more than 17 on y'all. No, that was it.
Like offensively,
Nope, that was it.
Yeah.
No, at all.
So not allowing anybody to score 17 until you play Miami. That's impressive.
I mean, the defense gave up 17.
Yeah. That was impressive. But I think that I disagree with Taz saying y'all a year away because I like Ben Baller, think that this defense takes a major step back.
Can I interrupt you real quick?
Yeah, please.
Did y'all not say the same thing last year?
Did I not say what?
That when we lost those 8 players on defense, did y'all not say the same thing to come into the season?
I mean, I don't know I can't speak for anybody else, but
It's a little
I didn't
different,
say
Garrison.
Yeah. I can't speak
This is
for
a little
what
different,
anybody
bro.
else said.
I don't know.
And
We'll
I
find out.
never said your defense was taking a step back this year from last year. But I do think that happens this year. Obviously, you're losing your best defensive player this year.
Mhm.
I mean, you can argue Arvell Reese, but hell, maybe he's gone. I don't know. But
He's gone.
Yeah. So there's that. And so you're losing your best 2 players on defense. I think this was the year. I agree with Richie Dubs. I mean, not Richie Dubs, but Ben Baller. I think this was the year. I do think, obviously the year after next, you'll probably have, veteran players reload. I know you're probably going to attack the portal heavy too, but I do think this was the year for you.
I guess I can understand that. Like coming to the season, I thought we beat you guys. I thought we win the Big Ten. And then I said, in the playoffs, we'll see if we can win a championship. Now, of course, throughout the season, expectations do change.
Yep.
But the truth of the matter is, do I think this team could have won a championship? Maybe so. But we played a team that we like in the trenches. We weren't better than them. That just is what it is, bro. They had 2 guys, and it wasn't even that they had 2 guys, and because their D tackles played well too. But they did things like putting Mesidor and Bain over our right side of the O-line together. Like they did things like that really screwed us up. Right? I thought Ryan Day, the second half adjustments he made, they were a half too late. But again, at the end of the day, only a few teams can win the national championship. And that's why I never believe in the championship or bust theory. I just don't believe in that because multiple teams can win it year in and year out, and it's tough to. But I'm also not going to sit here and say that this was the year we do it because then I think that's implying we can't do it next year. We can't do it 5 years from now. We'll see what ends up happening next year. We'll see what portal additions come. We'll see how guys develop and so forth. But no, I feel you, bro. I feel you.
Yeah.
Richie.
Yeah. First, I don't agree with the natty or bust stuff either. I'm always hesitant to say that, but this year's a little different. Bro, we have 5 first-round picks on this team, literally 5. 4 of them on defense. I don't know. I think you got to capitalize on that. And as far as the old line goes, Justin Fry had the same exact old line last year. So
he had Donovan Jackson.
Hold on. He had Donovan Jackson. He had, with the exception of Donovan Jackson, he had this exact same old line through the playoffs, right? Bro, and they played out of their mind. Now, when we see Ian Moore come into the game in the second half, am I the only one that is wondering where has Ian Moore been all year?
No, he should have been playing over Philip Daniels.
Over Philip Daniels, or maybe we can move Ciravel back to guard and put Ian Moore at tackle. No,
I mean, maybe so, but I mean, bro, Philip Daniels is getting, bro. Philip couldn't do anything against some boys either. I mean, Ciravel got hurt in the game, so it is what it is. But
here's the point about Bowen. Well, this guy had all year to figure out an offensive line rotation that would work. All year. And the issues were there immediately in Garrison. I, honest to God, I believe this, especially as the season has gone on, is that we were running 12 and 13 personnel so much is because Ryan Day knew that this offensive line wasn't qualified to do the job. Because immediately when they tried to stop going 12 and 13 personnel against Wisconsin was the first game. Dude, our O-line got cooked. And then our O-line got cooked again against Purdue. Right? So these issues have been here all year long, bro.
yes.
So, and they had, and this is why I can't put it on Justin Fry's recruiting. Because we saw last year in the playoffs that most of these guys are qualified. Bro, 4 of the 5. Remember, because we lost Seth before the playoffs. And what's his name? The guy the Chiefs drafted. What the hell? What's his name? The left tackle.
Oh,
you know who I'm talking about.
yeah, the dude from San Diego State. Yeah,
exactly. He was gone all year since the Oregon game. So, dude, it's essentially the same old line minus Donovan Jackson. But Philip Daniels was decent this year. It's not like Philip Daniels was Tegra. There was games Philip Daniels got cooked, I know. But dude, Bowen didn't do the job, man. And I think Ryan Day knew that. And I'm gonna let Miami Garrison talk his shit here in a second. I know he can't wait because he hasn't said a word. I know he's about to go in. So, I just really quick, man. I feel like this season is a failure. How can it not be Garrison? We have 5 first-round picks on this team, bro. What's the record?
I mean, those first-round picks don't matter when Messidor and Bain live 20 yards in your backfield.
Yeah, I know. I called Johnny, or I think Maniac show last week, and I said I had genuine concerns about this game, bro. I said that D-line against our O-line is nothing to be taken lightly, and a great D-line is a great equalizer, bro. Great D-line is how we upset Miami in 2002 with Will Smith and Kenny Peterson and Darian Scott and Tim Anderson, bro. That D-line won us the game in 2002. How did the Giants upset the Patriots twice in the Super Bowl? D-line. Michigan last year beat us because of their generational defensive line. So I understand, but it's still, bro. It's still. The staff had to have come up with something to.
Yeah.
You know, bro. Like. But anyway, Garrison, have a good night, man. Thanks for having me. I'll talk to you soon.
Rich, I'll talk to you soon, boy. Hey, always.
All right, my man. Yep, bro. IO, brother. Peace, man.
Peace. 50.
What's
Miami
good?
Garrison.
Hey,
What's up, man?
Hey,
Appreciate
I'm
you jumping
feeling
on.
bad. Hey, I'm feeling bad. I'm like, damn, they done did my boy like that on my show.
And I'm like, I can't let that shit happen again. Then I come over here and I see your ass standing in the paint. I say, oh, this nigga used to this. I'm like,
Yeah, man.
oh,
Hey, man, I do this, man. You know
yeah,
what's funny, 50?
yeah,
There's this. I don't even know who this dude is. There's this weird Michigan fan on X who been like this tagging me saying like, where Garrison been. I'm like, hey, you can find me in spaces. I've been
yeah,
tweeting. I'm here. You can
yeah,
come talk to me. I
yeah.
don't hide, man. I don't do
Yeah,
that.
nah, you ain't hiding. But hey, more of the story is y'all spoiled as hell. I'm listening to y'all. Y'all spoiled as hell. Y'all ain't really been through nothing. Cause I'm listening to y'all. Y'all like, oh, we wasted. I'm like, man, y'all ain't go through shit, fam.
Yeah.
Man, y'all been winning since I've been watching football. So I'm just looking like, don't you feel like y'all just gonna bounce back? Like, ain't the proof in the pudding?
Yeah, but I'm gonna tell you what, man. Like, because before you guys let people on, I was listening to you guys' show when you guys started at 6 p.m. By the way,
Right.
everybody, this is 50 from Category 6. If you guys don't know them or you go check out their stuff, man. I'm gonna be honest.
Uh-huh.
As a Buckeye fan, when we listen to y'all, it's humbling. But
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
bro, like I'll tell you what, bro. But you said some. I think I think you said it, bro. I can understand this.
Yeah.
Just as a college football fan, bro. Like
Yeah.
because of what y'all went through in that 2002 game, bro, or 2003 game, I
Yeah.
can understand, man, what this game meant to y'all. I
Yeah.
get it, bro. And
Yeah. And
like
then
it,
Jeremiah Smith ain't making no better. They still talk about that. We got something for him. I'm like, whoa, where did that come from?
and no, I had to clip that up. I had to clip y'all talking about him up, bro. I had to.
I know it's collecting dust, but I'm glad it is. You feel me? Because I was like, boy, if this dude pull it off, boy, they got my ass. But hey, we won. I'll
Mhm.
say this, Caleb Downs, I'm still looking for you because you didn't have to hit Malachi like that. We need him for this playoff run. I don't know what that was about. That
Bro,
somebody
we
told
was
me it was
headhunting
his
him. I
brother
ain't gonna
Josh
hold you.
Downs talking too much. Is that true?
You ain't lying.
Yeah, I
You
ain't
ain't
feeling
lying.
that.
Hey, 50, I can't hold you.
Yeah, bro. That shit was just crazy. But far as that game, I had a feeling we were gonna win. Did I see that? Nah, I ain't see us dominating yet. Like, I'm gonna keep it all the way real with you. They played better than I expected against y'all.
Mm.
Like, I knew we were gonna be able to get some pressure, but to straight up dominate like that, I don't think I ever seen Ohio State O-line get dominated like that. I'm talking about like that. Like, Indiana did good. Real good.
Yeah. Those I mean, maybe the 2024 or our championship year against the Wolverines, but
Yeah.
it didn't look like this.
No, it didn't look
It didn't
like
look like
you
this.
know what I'm saying? It didn't look like this. And it's like, you know how that last drive, what we got? I'm thinking like, damn, are we
Mhm.
gonna be able to drive the field? Cause I'm like, okay, maybe this when Patricia wake up, because I'm just like, okay, he might start blitzing us or some shit. You know what I'm saying? Like pull out what Texas A&M did to us. I don't. How many times
Yeah.
did he blitz that game?
We didn't blitz at all, bro.
Yeah,
That defense, bro. Like I didn't think our defense played that bad, bro. But I thought coaching wise, we made a mistake. I don't think we
yeah,
blitzed enough.
yeah,
And listen, bro. Going to the game, bro. I said, listen, I don't fear Carson Beck throwing over the top. I don't fear y'all routing us over the top.
yeah,
But what you can't do is play 8 yards off. And then
yeah,
on top of that, bro, like, I'm gonna give Carson his due.
yeah,
A lot of those short, like those 5 to 8 yard passes,
yeah.
there was tight coverage. They were tight windows. He threw
Mm-hmm.
them in there and they caught the ball.
Yeah.
So
Now they did.
yeah, but it was impressive, bro. Like that was like of course I'm gonna talk crap about y'all because y'all
Yeah,
Miami.
yeah,
And like
yeah,
the SMU game and Louisville game are what they are. But I did tell people, I said, bro, this is the best Miami team since we played them. Like
yeah,
that's just the truth.
yeah. And I will say this. It feel good to return the favor or ruining a back to back. You feel what I'm saying? Cause you did it to me when I was a jit,
Man,
and I'm thinking, oh, we gonna get back up.
I can't believe this, bro. Like the way because that's the problem, bro. We trying to go back to back like y'all and then y'all stopped it.
Yeah. Hey man. Now we gotta win a Fiesta Bowl, something we never did. You know we 0-4 in the Fiesta Bowl.
Y'all really?
Yeah,
That's crazy. I didn't know that. That's a wild stat.
yeah, we
Oh,
0-4.
is that why? Who's your co-host on there?
Oh, that was Jay Johnson.
Jay Johnson. Maybe it was another episode I was watching, but he said he ain't going to the Fiesta Bowl.
Yeah, no. He going to the Fiesta Bowl. He didn't want to
Okay.
go to the game in Texas because
Okay.
every time he went to Texas, we lost.
Man, I blame him then. Yeah. Hey man, what's his name?
Jay Johnson.
Yeah, Jay. Yeah, bro. I blame you for this loss, bro. You should have showed up.
Hell no. I made sure he ain't show up. Hey, and I made sure I ain't do 2 shows that day. Cause last time I did 2 shows in the day, we lost to Louisville. I said never again.
I can't stand y'all, bro.
Hey,
You know
man.
funny, bro? Because like I was thinking, like in that first half, I was actually bar team for the first half of that game.
Uh-huh.
And I said to and every time I've seen my Ohio State lose big games, bro, I'll be doing something else in the first half.
Mm-hmm.
And then like I didn't see that pick six. I looked up at, bro, I was doing something. I looked up at the screen. I said, huh? I was sick, boy. I was sick.
It was just crazy because Jeremiah just blurred my DB, so I'm like shit. I'm getting on I'm like shit. He you know what I'm saying? It's about to be one of them. Next thing you know, pick. I'm like, oh man, and we
Bro.
talked about it on my show. Like the man Julian saying, at a point he wasn't worried about looking downfield. He was looking at the pass rush, so he didn't see the wide open tight end or that one play. I can't remember what Tate was wide open.
Oh my God, bro. Bro, pants off, running down the middle of the field, bro.
Yeah.
And like I said, we were talking earlier, and I said, bro, like, so that play, bro, we that's one of our staple plays.
Yeah.
In Ryan Day's offense. Like we motion, we move out left, or we move out left, bro. Quarterback turn around, boom, it's open. The problem is, bro, he saw Bane, he saw Messidor.
Yeah.
And by that time, bro, like I said, he was punch drunk by that time, bro. Like it's
or the one play where he could have got the first down and he didn't run for it.
And like I said, bro, Carson, that 11-yard run, bro, that first down, because at that point, bro, in that third quarter, I said, man, if we get this stop, I said, I think we going down the field to score, bro.
Oh yeah,
I felt that
y'all
way.
definitely was finna score because that was
I
finna be
felt
short
that
ass
way.
field. That was finna be short ass field. So when he got that third down, I was happy. Cause I'm like, yes, I ain't gotta, you know what I'm saying? Cause I'm in field position mode. Cause I'm already respecting the defense. Cause I'm like, all right, they shutting the hell. Like that little freshman dude had CJ Daniels in hell. So I'm like, shit, we ain't finna get nothing on that over there for real, unless it's something short. Cause they ain't letting us go deep. So I'm just like, okay, we just gotta get it how I live. And Fletcher did his thing that Marty Brown, who he ain't even played the last playoff game, played this game and did a little something, scored a touchdown and all that stuff. So it was just like real complimentary football. You could tell we wanted it more. Hell yeah. Cause I don't know, man. Y'all
I should
used
have
to
knew
winning.
something was up when I saw Sap on the sideline.
Oh man, him and that ragged ass mohawk. Man. Oh man. Hey, Ray Lewis was on the sideline too, man.
And like I said, but it made me mad because like Ohio State fans lost, bro. We love Mark Fletcher, bro. Like I told you, man.
Yeah.
And honestly, bro, I'm gonna tell you what, like because your O line played really good, especially in pass coverage. But I thought in run blocking, bro, there was a lot of times when he was getting hit at the line.
Yeah. He was making it
Moving forward, bro. Moving forward.
Yeah. Now he was. And that's what we need. Cause like, yeah, you right. That's another thing. Like our O-line is real good. Our run blocking is good to straight, but our pass blocking is, I ain't gonna lie, it's pretty elite for the most part. Like it's
Y'all
pretty
got
good.
Giants blocking for y'all, man.
Yeah. And that's another thing. I'm kind of glad you brought up the O-line because that's another thing I was hearing y'all talk about. And that O-line recruiting, nobody got the exact science down. It's only a few coaches that got that shit down.
Mario, bro. It's
Mario got it down. Yeah. But I'm talking about like who else got it down? Like what?
Oregon. Oregon does.
Wisconsin used to.
Yeah, I'm gonna be honest, bro. Ain't nobody. It's so hard to like, y'all know this. It's so hard to recruit, but Mario has an eye for that, bro. He just has an eye for it.
Hey man, I'm gonna keep real all the way real with you. What I've been seeing, it's like a form of you just get all the big body tackle bodies
Mm-hmm.
and let the rest figure it out. Like somebody gotta play tackle, somebody gonna play guard. You know what I'm saying? And he just get all the monsters. Like sometimes they don't even be that highly rated, but them be your best players like a Nash Cooper and stuff like that.
I'm happy you said that, 50, because I've been saying this for a few years now.
Yeah,
Getting a 5-star dude, high 4-star blue chip dude is
yeah,
cool. I
yeah,
said if we got a 6'6", 6'7", 330-pound dude in the state of Ohio who's a 2 or 3-star, you bring him in.
yeah,
I don't
yeah,
care. You bring him in, bro. Because
yeah,
like dudes like that, bro, those offensive linemen, they're gonna fight for where they from.
yeah. And you gotta
Like
think about this. That don't grow on trees.
it doesn't, bro.
It don't grow on trees. So that's why that O-line recruiting is really a crapshoot. Like when you really look at the history of O-line recruiting, 5-star O-linemen really be busting. Like they really don't be good. It be them gems that
Mhm.
that's a traits position. That's what I
Like
call that.
like Caden Proctor, bro. I don't think he all that. I
Nah, he
don't.
ain't. I don't either. I saw him against Florida State. I was highly disgusted.
We saw him last night.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. Highly disgusted, man. So it is what it is. It's like you can see the difference
Mm-hmm.
between the real like I said, that recruiting stuff, it's like certain positions is a traits position. O line, linebacker, running back. Like you don't really need like 5-star at that position.
For sure.
Cause you could get like a damn near Hall of Famer as a 3-star. But yeah, but that O line, that shit. Oh yeah, Notre Dame is a good.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And
for sure,
hey,
man. I'm about to end the show here, my brother. What you want to leave us with, man? And you better not say anything crazy here. I don't want to. I don't want to
man,
hear no.
man,
Man, what you got, 50? What you got to say? Miami
man.
Garrison. That's crazy.
Hey
I
man,
can't believe you said
Miami
that.
Garrison in the building. Y'all make sure y'all rock with, you know what I'm saying, Category 6 Sports, you know what I'm saying, the 50 show. You know what I'm saying, Monday, Wednesdays at 6 p.m. Thank you for having me.
No, man.
Hey,
Thank you.
hey,
Thank you for showing up, brother. I was expecting that, man. I appreciate you.
hey man, hey, and throw them U's up.
I ain't throwing shit up, man. All right, 50, man.
All
Appreciate you,
right,
bro.
man.
Oh man, shout out to 50, man, from Category 6. What they do a great job over there, man. Again, everybody, I appreciate everybody for being here today. Again, it's tough, man. Like when the season finishes, you put a lot of as a fan, you put a lot of heart into it. It's tough. Before we get out of here, everybody, message from the Voice of College Football. Get your business, product, service, or personal brands to the next level by partnering with the Voice of College Football. Let's discuss how you also can reach your target market. Check out the experience of all of our current partners, that being Win Agency posted here on the screen, and also our friends over at FanDuel. And just like them, we are here to deliver for you. Contact us at sponsorships at vocfb.com. Again, that is sponsorships at vocfb.com today. All right, man. Well, we'll see you guys on Monday, or I'll see you on Monday. I'm not sure if Mike will be there, but hopefully he will. Again, everybody, appreciate you being here. Again, if you haven't already, please go ahead and hit that like button. Please share, subscribe to the channel if you like the content that we bring here at you. If you'd like to become a member, please hit that join button where you can see our 3 tiers, that being the Block O Club. JT wasn't sure because we all know that he wasn't, and we don't give a damn, and you know the rest. Again, everybody, my name is Garrison Guy. Thank you for being here. And as always, OHIO.